Hi, I'm Ann Gannon. I am the Palm Beach County tax collector and a lover of the arts, which is why I'm here, but a former legislator and a lobbyist who did a lot of advocacy work, which is another reason I'm here to encourage all of you to get involved in your community, even if it's just writing a letter. Arts are pretty important to our community, and a couple of years ago I participated in a national workshop, and we talked about budgets. And one of the things that I always um, keep close to my heart is what we fund is really our value system in our community. And I don't think people understand that. And it's critically important, but funding the arts is a challenge in Florida. And in the last 20 years, I think there's been a conglomeration of funding put together. And this year, we've seen major attacks on the funding through the Florida legislative process. And what happened, the Senate president and the speaker made an agreement that whatever budget came out of conference, which is when you put a budget together in one house and the other house, it has to go to conference so that it becomes one document. And they're still not there. They're coming back in July to look at it. But in the Senate budget, there was language that would have required all of the cultural, was it the cultural councils, would have had to become a ballot issue and get reapproved in each community over and over again in some kind of years, like maybe every 5 years or every 10 years, which is not a bad idea because I think it really shows the support for arts in our communities. What was the bad idea is they wanted to also take the funding that comes into the Tourist Development Council and supplant it in the property tax budget and then pull that $90 million out of it so that there was no direct arts funding available. It became pretty scary for me to think that there are counties that are so small they don't have the kinds of art that we do in our communities here in Palm Beach County. When you look at some of the rural counties, and they're called fiscally challenged counties because they really don't have enough money to fund their budgets on the county level for various reasons, some which are probably bad decisions that they need to look at changing, or they just don't have enough people. When you have 7,000 people in your county, how do you fund your county government, and how do you fund an arts council or a theater in your community? It gets really tough. And frankly, I think that's why we have this split in Florida, the lack of awareness of the arts, but not just the arts, of a bigger world. And let me talk to you a little bit about advocacy in the legislative process. It's so important for everybody to develop some kind of relationship with their legislator so that when you see them in the grocery store, you can talk to them about an issue that's important to you. But it's also critically important to pay attention to what's going on and how they vote. And if they don't vote the way you think the community and you believe they should have voted, you need to have a discussion with them. It's not offensive to do that. They actually like that. They really do, most of them, want to help their communities. But you as a citizen need to help them along. Make sure you understand how to reach them. You can email them, but I would suggest that if you care about an issue enough, you need to sit and write a personal letter. As a former legislator, I could get thousands of emails, but the letters that come in, and to this day, we get personal letters from people who are going through tax issues that we try and help with. A letter works, or a personal phone call works a lot better. Make a point of developing a relationship with their staff so that you can pick up the phone when there's an issue you read about and call and talk to them about it. and whether you think that's an issue that they should support.